Hare Krishna, welcome everybody to live Bhagavad-Gita readings. We'll sing today. Let's sing a song of sixpence. What is it? Sing a song of sixpence. Pocket full of, what is it?
See, you
forgot.
You can answer your
I know, but
420 blackbirds baked in a pie. What is it?
Pie.
I don't know. Yeah.
Okay. So let's sing Hare Hare Krishna because life is miserable and we need to sing about it and be happy and rejoice in the misery of this existence.
Happy song. Shackles in his face.
Oh no, I don't have my iPad.
Yeah.
Ooh, just got it. You lost it already.
No, I mean, I don't know if you would need. Okay.
It's disgusting behavior for me. How come you got this one? Purple.
Your one is flat.
No, really? Blue one.
Yeah.
The blue one's flat.
Yeah, I remember yesterday in the whole kitchen it was flat. Isn't it?
I wasn't there when I kicked it.
Must have been cold in the action.
Where did he go to get crackers?
No, to get his iPad.
Okay. Let me
See.
This is for all of you viewers at home. We're always thinking about you and how to improve our service to you. Today we're going to improve our service to you by honoring Gopi cheese parathas. We'll be thinking about you while we're ordering them. That's how much you mean to us. Everybody has the words?
No.
Come on guys, let's get it together.
Monkey see, come on. Oh, I knew it. I knew this guy.
Where what old money?
Happy Guru, Happy
I've got a
Guru,
Ferrari.
Saffron.
I'm saving up for a Lamborghini. Personally, I prefer Maserati.
Renounced.
Real, you to my real game. Hari, Hari, Hare, 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 Hari Name Gaudiya Vaishnavinda ki
Jai.
Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Jai Gopinda.
Hari Bolo.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Thank you very much for that memorable kirtan. Excellent kata playing.
I'm learning from the best, you know.
Truly outstanding. Thank you so much.
Got phenomenal teachers, you know.
Beautiful songs as well.
Thank you.
They're so nice.
Mono.
Please keep up the good work.
Thank you for lovely shit.
Well,
I sent you chapter 8 as well.
I did. I received essays also from the
Oh, amazing.
which
How many
I'm
essays you done
extremely happy about. Did you send me also?
for the chapter?
I haven't seen anything.
Why not?
I'm very busy.
This is also part of your busyness. So you do it.
Busy.
And,
How many essays per chapter are we supposed to
So you said one, if I'm not mistaken.
One, okay.
Okay, I did one.
You choose one of them.
Yeah, I'm lazy. I was going to be two, I did one.
No, one's enough.
Okay. Chapter 9 is huge though.
Because one is more difficult than the other.
Actually,
Much more.
yeah, one is much more difficult than the other. Like the second one is like quite. I mean, I kind of got
This
it.
is not in the Gita, by the way.
What is
I want you to say that. Come on. This is not. It's a bold statement. This is not in the Gita.
No, I mean, it's from the study sum, the second essay.
Yoga Mishra Bhakta, is that what it is?
These are the different types of people, the sincere people that come to Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, but it's unpacked in what we study.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's.
So you have to use the notes.
Okay. Makes sense.
Because the questions, they just come straight from the purports and stuff. But the essays, you have to refer to the notes.
Okay. Nice.
Okay.
Good to know.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, okay. I kind of knew.
Okay, you could also answer directly from the Gita. It's just you can use the notes as help,
Right.
and also what you heard from the classes and stuff. So when you gonna start?
We're going to do study sessions, aren't we? Together. Certain times.
Even if you at least answer the questions.
Yeah. We wanted to do it as
Yeah, it's better if you commit to study questions
We can do study sessions together. It'd be nice.
It would be good.
That'd be nice actually, yeah. We can do.
in English.
It really helps with
It's Mank dialect. It's Mank dialect. I don't think you'll understand it.
Wait, what was that?
Mank dialect.
What?
See, you see what I mean? It's very.
Can you understand this?
Translator.
What?
Oh, come on.
What did you just call me?
Hindi accent.
Okay, I'm gonna. Okay, guys. Alright. Okay, so we're continuing our reading. We're on the Chaturshloki about the required qualification for receiving Buddha Yoga is a sincere desire to render devotional service. Did you read this? So a sincere desire has to be the first qualification for anything actually. If you want to understand anything, do anything, you have to sincerely desire it. We've been sincerely desiring material, mundane things for a long time, but now we have to sincerely desire our spiritual emancipation. Yes, we have to really desire it, and it's very subtle actually. You have to really want it. What was it that I experienced the other day? Practical example. You have to sincerely desire to let go of things as well, minorities, but you have to want to let go of them. And it's hard because the reason they're minorities is because you like these things. And you don't want to let go of them. But you have to want to let go of those things you don't want to let go of. It's really tough. Yeah. That's hard.
It's really difficult. So the desire to enjoy is the principle, and then we have all the details, the specifics. And you enjoy this, desire that, and this and that and that. But the overall desire to control and enjoy. To give that up, first of all, you have to see the specific things that you're specifically desiring. The main ones, and work towards
not being so attached to them. So, for example, calling all the ladies mother and actually seeing the ladies as mother. You have to actually want to do that for it to work. You can't just mechanically do it, but actually inside you still like that male-female interaction, you know, the cheeky little glances and the subtleties. No, you have to actually want to see her as mother. You have to want it. And only then it will manifest. And then if you apply that and you experience, oh, the relationship is actually much nicer in this way. There's no agitation, there's no over familiarity, it's respectful, but you still get everything achieved what you want. And then that gives you more faith to further apply. So everything's like that. We have to hear, contemplate, apply, and then realization comes. This Shravana Manana and Nijasa. Very good. So a person may have a bona fide spiritual master and may be attached to a spiritual organization. You read this. Oh yes, but if he's still not intelligent enough to make progress, then Krishna from within gives him instructions that he may ultimately come to him without difficulty. Yeah, it's very easy to not be intelligent enough to make progress. It's like you've joined the movement, you've taken initiation, you've got instructions from your guru, and then you still, you haven't got the right attitude. You blame your spiritual master for your own shortcomings. When something goes wrong, you blame everybody else. You can't take responsibility. You can't make any progress. You can't overcome your own condition. It's called not very intelligent.
I recently, yeah. Yeah, okay.
Not very intelligent. So, but Krishna is so kind that he is still prompting from within constantly, so that conscience is always there. Okay, I've got to sort myself out, So sooner or later, ultimately, so maybe even after a long time, they will eventually come to Krishna. Because they're still devotees. They're just a bit wayward, that's all. So the qualification is a person always engages himself in Krishna consciousness with love and devotion, renders all kinds of services. Perform some kind of work for Krishna, that should be done with love. It doesn't matter what you do, what service it is. You can do anything with cooking, cleaning the toilets, being Sankirtan leader, whatever, temple president, doesn't matter. Do it with love. If a devotee, do it with love. Love, love, love. Happiness, love, yes. Joy, bliss, and love.
It's a mix of two songs.
It's a remix. Oh, you can do a remix.
I can like on the desk.
DJ Kish.
Oh yeah.
If a devotee is not intelligent enough to make progress on the path of self-realization, but is sincere and devoted to the activities of devotional service, the Lord gives him a chance to make progress and ultimately attain. So he's not very intelligent, he's not applying what he's hearing, but at least he's doing the service, he's doing activities, so that's good, we'll get there. Sometimes Mayavadi philosophers criticize the devotees because they think that most of the devotees are in the darkness of ignorance and are philosophically naive sentimentalists. Actually, that's not the fact. They are very, very learned scholars who have put forward the philosophy of devotion. But even if a devotee does not take advantage of their literatures or of his spiritual master, so this is the less intelligent person, if he is sincere in his devotional service, he is helped by Krishna himself within his heart. So the sincere devotee engaged in Krishna consciousness cannot be without knowledge. The only qualification is that one carry out devotional service in full Krishna consciousness. So we're given all facilities, we're given the Vedic literatures, we're given the spiritual master who's going to help guide us through them, who cares for our spiritual upliftment. But if we still don't take advantage of these facilities, although it's extremely foolish, but as long as it's not directly offensive, it's just less intelligent, and then still Krishna will still help you from within, he'll guide you, and sooner or later you will take advantage of those things. If not this life, at least in the future. It will happen eventually, because of your sincerity. So some sincerity is still there. So, therefore, that person is still a devotee. When one is qualified in this way, Krishna takes full responsibility of his spiritual and material welfare. Srila Vishnu Chakravarti explains in his commentary. Arjuna says, without the functioning of knowledge and other such elements, how can they attain you? And how can they even strive for that goal? God says, this is not at all necessary. Having the intention of giving them mercy by all means, even without them having to worry about attaining my mercy, since I make the endeavor to give them mercy, I, being situated in the functioning of their intellects by the lamp of knowledge, knowledge arising from bhakti which is beyond the gunas, not sattvika knowledge, since bhakti alone can reveal me, destroy the darkness born of ignorance in them alone, but not in others like the yogis. I alone do this, all in my own. Why should they strive for this purpose? I have already said that I carry the responsibility of their spiritual and material welfare. I accept the responsibility to supply all their material and spiritual requirements. So this is the kindness of the Lord to his devotee. He's specifically said that he's equal to all, but still he's also very favorable to his devotees. They're very special because they render service with love directly to the personality of Krishna. Therefore, it's a special category. So for those people, they don't technically have to spend all the time studying, answering questions or writing essays in Bhagavad-Gita. You know, they don't have to do all these things. They don't have to. Krishna will help them. He will empower their intellects like that, and he will remove their ignorance. So there's no need to overly. So this is, this over endeavoring. We don't need to over endeavor for anything in Krishna consciousness. Not knowledge, not perfection of activities, not achieving results, whatever results we don't have to. We just have to sincerely apply ourselves to the process with love and devotion, and everything will automatically be delivered to the heart of a devotee. Everything, material and spiritual welfare, will be taken care of. Krishna says, I personally take responsibility for you. So that's real dependence. Dependency. Completely dependent upon Krishna's mercy. Therefore, he's obliged. He can't help it. He has to provide everything for us. He has no choice because you've surrendered everything, completely dependent upon him. Okay, you're my responsibility. So it's like that. So it's same as the Prabhupada says that if the woman is very intelligent, she allows herself to be dependent upon the man. And even if the man treats her not so good sometimes, she still is nice to him. Within reason, not that she's a walkover, but stays with him, is loyal, is chaste, and so forth. Because of that dependency, it makes the man feel like a hero. They feel like he's actually doing something, he's looking after this person. And so therefore, his natural masculine qualities force him to stay in that position of responsibility. He can't help it, he's obliged. But if the woman is insisting on being very independent and doing her own thing and everything else, then the man can't exhibit that protective mood. You understand? And that's why many marriages will break up, because he's not able to be a man in that relationship. And that's the problem with feminism. It actually destroys. It can't have a happy family life if the woman is trying to be the man. But you can't have a happy family life if the man is being a woman also. So the man has to also be trained how to be a man and be able to play that role. Otherwise the woman doesn't have a choice. She has to be the man. Somebody has to be the man. So if he's not going to do it, then she has to wear the trousers. But the problem is that's a destructive situation which isn't going to last very long. It can be there temporarily, but if he doesn't sort himself out. But if he hasn't been trained, if he hasn't had the association of other men and been trained how to be a man, then he doesn't know how. He's been raised by women. in a society full of women and men who act like women, and television which is promoting all. I mean, if you look at society, they say it's a man's world, but it's actually a woman's world. It's the city. Look at all these shops. How many of these shops are just for men?
Very little.
And how many shops do you see just for women? Quite a lot. Underwear, makeup, some in clothes. Because
Sorry.
it's like these sophisticated coffee shops, sandwich bars, all these smoothies and all this kind of stuff. A man's a very simple creature. He doesn't need this stuff. He's quite okay just having the same thing every day, or whatever it is, and he's not even that bothered how sophisticated it is, just a sandwich or whatever. But women need something nice and different and unique every day.
Just checking.
Okay.
Yeah, just check. 22 followers.
Thank you so much. 22, well, we're doing better.
Like, they're actually doing it.
It's better than having 1 million people. Jai Shivali. We just want to say, everybody at home, we appreciate your audience so much, and we're really trying to follow the instructions of Bhakti Natasha to put the camera at the back in the center, and with the rule of thirds. You know the rule of thirds is very important. So we're complying to all the regulations, and hopefully this is improving our service to you all. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Haribo.
Yes. So I don't know how we got into that subject, and I've been distracted now, and I don't know, so I'm just going to leave it there. But does that make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the idea in the family, in the home, is like the man is the stable. He's like, you have the flag and the flagpole, right? The flag can't. Is everything going on okay between you? Little kids or?
Okay. Let's get off.
You hold hands if you want.
He doesn't like it. We try to. We all the time. We try to hold his hands. He doesn't like it.
No, when he's a man, he'll be.
He's a man.
When you grow up, you'll be able to hold hands in a manly way.
Walk down the streets of India like men. Vedic men.
Holding hands.
It's Vedic. Why do you think they do it? It's from India. Of course, it's Vedic. It's bona fide. Come on.
Thus, the conclusion is that one can never understand Krishna by his own mental efforts, even if he goes on speculating for millions of years. Only by devotional service can one please the Lord, and when the Lord is pleased, he reveals himself to the heart of the pure devotee. Srila Prabhupada summarizes this section as follows. Due to the contamination of material association through many, many millions of births, one's heart is always covered with the dust of materialism. But when one engages in devotional service and constantly chants
Hare Krishna.
Chants what?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
No, what do they chant?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare.
Hare Kanya.
The dust quickly clears.
That's much sweeter.
I've got here, so.
The dust quickly clears and one is elevated to the platform of pure knowledge. The ultimate goal, Vishnu, can be attained only by this chant and by devotional service and not by mental speculation or argument. The pure devotee does not have to worry about the material necessities of life. He need not be anxious, because when he removes the darkness from his heart, everything is provided automatically by the Supreme Lord, who is pleased by the loving devotional service of the devotee. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad-Gita. By studying Bhagavad-Gita, one can become a soul, completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord, and engage himself in pure devotional service. As the Lord takes charge, one becomes completely free from all kinds of materialistic endeavors. So allowing the Lord to take charge means taking the passive, submissive, feminine position. How can you do that as you're a man? Take the feminine position. Well, sometimes you have to. What people don't understand about the masculine and feminine principle is a constantly moving energy, that it fluctuates between two people in any relationship Sometimes one is in the masculine position, one is in the feminine. And it's not a matter of social consideration or a matter of my pride or anything like that. It's just, that's just the way energy works. There always has to be duality. When the universe was set up by Mahavishnu, he created all the laws and everything like that. And so he had to create activities for the living entities to perform. And so there had to be correct activities and incorrect activities. And so correct activities give you merit, and incorrect activities give you demerit, right? And so therefore for the meritorious activities there's pleasure, and if you perform sinful activities there's pain. So this duality is always there. The masculine feminine principle means that there's always a masculine, there's always a feminine, there's always duality. So there's always the quality and the form. So Krishna's potency is the quality, is the masculine, and the form through which that quality can be expressed is the feminine. So that's why you have Brahman, effulgence is the shining effulgence of Krishna's transcendental qualities, right? And then you have the internal potency, is the form that's given to those qualities, right? And then in the material world you have the qualities, and the form that is given is the external potency, or maya, so that's the feminine aspect. But the quality itself, and the strength of the strong, and the wisdom of the wise. Why is
Of the wisdom.
yeah, with this stuff, and the sex life not contrary to religious principles. So the quality, right? The quality is the masculine, and the form given to that quality, so it can be expressed, is the feminine, right? So the masculine. What is interesting about a man is not necessarily his form. It's a bonus if he looks good. But the real thing is his qualities, his character. That's what the woman is looking for. He's stable, he's kind, he's generous. And he'll get his credit card out when it's time to go to the restaurant. He's not going to ask you, okay, let's split it 50-50. Which is the modern way of doing it, right? So that's not a man. So therefore that's not going to be a stable relationship. It's going to last very long, a bit of fun, whatever. You know? But it's not serious. So the qualities, he's responsible. He's in times of trouble and in times of happiness, he's stable. That's why she always creates difficult situations. She creates arguments and instability to test him, to see if he's stable or not. And he's like, why is she doing this? Why is that? What do you want from me? And it's just proving that you're not qualified. You're behaving like a woman, you're freaking out over a little thing. If you're a man, you'd be stable, you use your intelligence, find the way out of the situation, and then you become happy again. So here's the qualities, and she's the form. That's why the women always have to look very good. And she's going to look nice, wear nice clothes, things that match. And when she's riding in a red Lamborghini, she'll have clothes that match that. So when she rolls up, she looks good. Right? Everything has to match. So this is because the form is very important. That's why for a man, he looks to the feminine. The first thing he notices is the form. Because what we have, we always look for the thing we don't have. So whereas the woman is situated in enjoyment, she's the enjoyer, man's the controller. So therefore the woman's always seeking control and the man's always seeking enjoyment. So the woman's situated in enjoyment. She's always having a good time. She's happy. She knows how to generate that joyous experience very easily. The man's interested in that. But the man's situated in control, in safety. That's the thing the woman doesn't have. She needs that. So therefore she's always looking towards the man. So therefore that masculine, feminine principle is always, that dynamic is always working in every situation. So if you can understand that, we can operate in our material dharma. Because we can't operate in our material dharma if we don't know our identity. So we have to understand our material identity. We're in male form, so we have to learn how to act like men. As actors on a stage, technically we're not men, we're jivas, we're feminine, we're female. But we're playing the roles of men in this life. So we have to know the part. Otherwise it's not going to be a good drama. And if you're a crap actor, then you're only going to be in a crappy drama with other crappy actors. Do you want to live a life like that, or do you want to be in a good quality drama? And you'll attract a better audience. Because the best audience is Krishna. So if you want to attract Krishna, then you have to be able to play your part very nicely. And that's what Varnashram is all about, is giving you the proper way to play this little temporary drama of this material life. And remember what your true identity is beyond, when the curtains close, your real life. Be able to remember that at the same time, not get lost in the drama thinking that it's the real thing. It's the all in all. That's called insane, right? Nicolas Cage. He's insane. He goes off stage and he can't come out of his character. You know, so he starts smashing up his caravan and everything. It's because he's still in this like really violent mood of the character he was playing in that crazy film. You know, you notice he always plays insane people in every film he's in.
You mean Nicolas Cage or the other? That comedian.
No, Nicolas Cage.
No, I know Nicolas Cage. I was thinking of him.
You're thinking of
You know what
the one who played the mask.
Yeah.
Oh, Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey, yeah, he's like...
No, he's not that
Yeah.
crazy. He's more kind of self-destructive as far as I'm concerned.
Bit of my eye.
Yeah, strong Mayavadi.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a follower of the Mayavadi doctrine. And then he gives them a lot of money.
He's still alive.
I heard he tried to commit suicide.
I
He's
think
still
that might be so successful.
Yeah, he's a really unhappy person. That's all Mayavadis are.
Yeah. Sounds sort of unhappy, actually.
You can't be happy without Krishna in your life. It's not possible. Without Krishna consciousness, you can't be happy. You'll have some happiness according to your good deeds. You get some happiness, but it's always going to be limited according to your piety. Because if you're very pious, you'll have more happiness. And if you're very impious, then you have less. But in Krishna consciousness, you can have an extended period of happiness with little bits of distress here and there, but it's mostly blissful. So it's up to you. And as one develops, one becomes more and more pure in his Krishna consciousness and lets go of his material attachments, it becomes permanently blissful. And then it becomes ecstatic, and then it becomes prema, beyond experience, beyond anything you can understand in this current material body. Okay, a bit tired. Okay, verses 12 to 18. Arjuna's surrender and request. Verses 12 to 15. Arjuna accepts Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and declares that only Krishna can actually know his own position. Arjuna says that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ultimate abode, the purest, the absolute truth, the eternal, transcendental, original person. The unborn and the greatest, all the great sages such as Narada, Asita Devala, and Vyasa confirm this, and again, Krishna himself declares the same truth. So, as firmly establishing Krishna's identity, here Arjuna is bringing out his qualities so there can be no doubt in the mind of the observer, the mind of the studier of Bhagavad-Gita, who Krishna is. It's being clearly declared here, so that authority being established. Wait a second. Yeah, okay. That being established, therefore that sambandha being established, it enables us to have faith in whatever's going to be said next. Right. So, in verses 12 to 13, is that okay? In verses 12 to 13, Arjuna confirms that the Supreme Lord is different from the individual soul. Krishna is the absolute truth, the supreme independent being. All living entities depend on Krishna. Krishna is the source and support of his effulgence, known as the impersonal Brahman. All these conclusions can be understood only through the Parampara system. Srila Prabhupada explains. Here Arjuna expresses himself through the grace of Krishna. If we want to understand Bhagavad-Gita, we should accept the statements in these two verses. Okay, So this is called the parampara system, acceptance of the disciplic succession. Unless one is in the disciplic succession, he cannot understand Bhagavad-Gita. It is not possible by so-called academic education. Oof. Unfortunately, those proud of their academic education, despite so much evidence and Vedic literatures, stick to their obstinate conviction that Krishna is an ordinary person. So academics beware. It's interesting, if you put the word academic into the database and all the different quotes of academic which come up, try to find one which is positive.
Rarely glorified.
But somehow within our movement now, academics have become prominent and are even decision makers in the preaching strategy and how we should edit our books and so on and so forth. This is not what Prabhupada wanted at all. He was very much against the academics moving in because they carry a title and so forth. They will materially learn it, but it has zero qualification for spiritual knowledge. Zero. You call it a decoration on a dead body. What's the value? It's just temporary according to this life. You got a PhD, so what? It's absolutely no value. Now, nevertheless, in the modern era, as the forces of Kali Yuga bear down on ISKCON, and these things come up from time to time, I'm sure it's only temporary. Arjuna totally accepts as truth all that Krishna told him. He confirms that neither the demigods nor the demons can understand Krishna's personality. Only Krishna knows himself, being the origin of all. We discussed that before, right? You can't understand your source. I mean, because there's certain types of sources. Like for example, there's a very nice burger sauce that I make, but although I'm the creator of that sauce, technically I'm not, because I used other sources in that sauce. So only the creator of those other sources could technically understand the source in completion, because it has to be the creator can understand. So it's only the source can understand.
You need the source of the source.
Don't get saucy with me, guys.
Sorry.
So that's the point. But you have to, you have to be the source, the correct source, and from the source of that source. And in that way, you can. It can also be the
All sorts.
flying saucers. So only because Krishna is our source, we can't understand him. But he can understand us. He's the only one who can understand himself. He can't even understand himself completely. That's why he came as Lord Chaitanya. But we can't understand him. So even the devas, the demons, nobody can understand Krishna except for himself. So he has to reveal himself to us.
When you say he doesn't understand himself completely, he does though.
Well, he doesn't. Because that's the dilemma. I mean, he does and he doesn't. Because that's the dilemma. Because he can't understand how can Radharani love me so much. What is it about me that causes her to love me so intensely? He can't understand it.
Is that the only thing he doesn't understand? I don't understand. And
I mean, of course, he completely understands himself in terms of tattva.
yeah.
Of course.
Yeah.
But that relationship aspect is still a mystery. And that's the whole excitement of rasa. It's a mystery.
Is he not covered by like Yoga Maya or something? He gets it, but he's not.
Yoga Maya is an aspect of Radharani.
Oh, okay.
It's a potency of Radharani. It's a Swarab Shakti. So that's the point. He can't understand how Radharani can love him so much.
Okay.
Nobody loves him as much as her. Yoga Maya is also a devotee of Krishna. But nobody loves him as much as Radharani does. How can Srimati Radharani love me so much? What is it about me that he can't understand? Because he knows everything about himself, right? But still, he can't understand why would she love me like this. So therefore, he has to take Martha's Lord Chaitanya to try to taste that mood from Radharani's love, so he can better understand.
Even then, does he not have
So
full understanding?
he steals her golden complexion and her mood. Because he's the best thief. He's the butter thief. So he steals it,
Mm-hmm.
and then he's able to taste it. whether or not he's completely satisfied, only he can say it. I haven't read it anywhere. But I suspect it's an ongoing thing, because he appears in every millennium. So it's something, because it's eternal. It's an eternal relation, eternal taste. So it never comes to an end, and it never had a beginning. So it's always present.
There's another thing that Prabhupada says as well, measurement and increment.
Measurement.
Krishna he expands, so that's the increment. The increment, he expands with him. And then when he expands, he measures himself. And then he expands even more, and then he measures himself. So it's like
so that principle is also there, like that. That individual challenge Prabhupada. Okay, Krishna's God. Can he lift? Can he create a mountain that he can't lift? And Prabhupada said, yes! And then he'll lift it. Because he's always expanding, he's always increasing. So even at that point, he can do something that's impossible, then he can do it. It just goes like that. The spiritual nature operates in a different set of rules than the material energy. We can't try to understand the transcendental using our mind and intelligence. It's just not going to work. It's only Krishna's mercy. Through our love for him that anything can be understood. Isn't it?
Yeah. Sending few messages. So
Yes. As always. So what have we been speaking about?
So guilty.
Were you sending it to girls?
Oh.
Messages.
No. Some top three things to some devotees actually.
Some devotee girls.
No, devotees. Italian devotees. Because there is a conference where I'm at Swami on Zoom tonight, so I had to send
Very nice.
organize it. Sorry.
It's for the preachers.
Yeah,
It's always
teaching you later.
very preaching.
Everything he does is preaching.
It's very good.
He's such a
Preacher.
fired up preacher.
Yeah, it's a preacher. Jive, right after the he jived.
Look at this. Now we all feel very humble and meek. So no more. Won't be picking my Shan Govinda anymore.
Yeah.
That's during this class, that's for sure.
Damn, I wish I had a picture.
You can all get them. When you start to pick on you, you can get your
Put it
picture.
up. You know, that's the one.
This is my relative who just died. Okay. Arjuna's full acceptance establishes the proper standard for all who want to understand the Bhagavad-Gita. Everyone should therefore follow the example of Arjuna. Any deviation from the mood of Arjuna will lead to confusion. Got that? Any deviation from the mood of Arjuna will lead to confusion. If we can't understand Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, we can't understand Bhagavad-Gita. It's locked. Krishna is not known even by the great demigods and sages. To understand him is possible only by strict adherence to the disciplic succession. So, Parampara. One cannot understand Krishna by whimsical acceptance and rejection of his teachings. So we can't, I accept this bit, I don't accept this bit, I don't quite like that bit of Bhagavad-Gita, but this bit over here is nice and like that, and I respect the Prabhupada, but I don't want to take initiation because I don't feel it's necessary, because I've got to go to the books and I've got a relationship with Prabhupada through the teachings, therefore why is it necessary, I just really understand everything. Now this isn't going to work. You have to accept authority, you have to accept Prabhupada. It's required. Everybody, Krishna did it, Lord Chaitanya did it, all the acharyas have done it. Why do you think it's special? We don't have to do it. It's the process that's been given by the Lord himself. We have to follow this strict adherence to parampara and understanding Krishna, Sambandha Gyan, who Krishna is, who I am, what my relationship is, and all these things. And then we can the Chit Shakti, the Bhakti Shakti, to flow down the parampara through us, and then we can give it to others. So if you want to become an empowered preacher, or Srila Prabhupada's army, this is the secret. Yes. Oh, yes. Wow. Yes. Very
serious business, actually. So, Srila Prabhupada writes in Renunciation Through Wisdom, such logic is described as the logic of half a hen.
What's a hen?
Hen?
Hen is like a chicken
cock.
lays eggs.
Oh,
Chicken lays eggs.
Oh, that's.
Like you have
How do you
hen-
say in
You
Italian?
know, you have hen parties, so all the girls, just before one of them gets married, they all go out and kiss loads of guys and drink and wearing practically
It's
nothing.
not.
And
Yeah, it's not a very popular word in English.
hen,
Hen.
it's a very English word.
No, it's not popular. It's not common.
Go out to the countryside, you'll hear it more.
You'll see a lot.
Yeah, that's it's. Yeah, gallina. Did you know? Did you know this word before?
What is
Anton?
it? Hen?
Hen.
What is it?
So chicken.
Chicken.
Is the one that gives the eggs. The female chicken.
You have the rooster
That was really funny. I don't know why that was so funny.
and the hen.
The rooster and the hen.
Yeah, because the
It's
hen
very
is the
popular.
female. So you have, in other species of bird, you may also call the female the hen version of that bird.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
In a bird.
I think it might
No,
be,
the
it
Italian
may
is
not
like
be romantic language, it may be
No, no, no.
Celtic or German. Therefore, it's unfamiliar to you guys.
So a hen is a chicken.
Yeah, it's a full-on chicken. It's a
And the
full-
rooster is also a chicken.
A rooster is a rooster. Some may categorize it as a chicken, but it's not. It's a rooster. But if you eat it, they'll call it a chicken.
So what do you mean if you eat it?
Just don't. Come on.
If you cooked a rooster, if you plucked it, you know, stuck it in the oven with a load of stuff shoved up its backside, and then ate it, then you would say you're eating chicken, right?
Okay.
But while it was alive, it was a rooster.
It's not a chicken.
No, because the chicken's a hen.
Oh, okay, so
Technically.
chicken are female.
But if you went to a chicken farm, they say, oh, I've got loads of chickens. Because chickens is like the general, and then specific you can say rooster and hen.
Okay, that's why we
Or
don't.
you can also say the cock.
Yeah, but that's the
It's
male.
a rooster.
Yeah.
So when the cock crows in the morning, that's when Krishna wakes up.
Yeah.
And then the queens of Dwarka are very disturbed because Krishna leaves the bed. He just gets up. He doesn't kiss them and hug them and say, oh, I love you so much, darling. He just gets up and they're left there and they feel very, very angry at the rooster, at the cock, for getting Krishna out of bed.
What's the difference between cock and rooster?
It's exactly the same
That's
thing.
same.
You have cockfighting. So in medieval times, even up until recent times, they would, even today actually in Asia and places like that, they tie
Yeah.
metal spears, or what they call spurs, to the cocks, and then they peck the living daylights out of each other until one's dead. You know, that's the sport. And so you gamble, like when they start fighting, you put bets on. You know, pretty savage. It's not as bad as putting. They used to put 2 dogs against a bear. You know, but the dogs would be free and the bear would be chained up, and that would also be, you know, common for for gambling.
In this country.
Yeah, here but not so much now. The RSPCA have become very powerful now. So. But in other countries, it still goes on. You know, in Russia and other places. Because you could put a fighting cock against a dog, but it wouldn't last for him. It's not really a good fight.
Mismatch. We call it mismatch.
But oh yeah, I mean, you figure different animals, they fight well together and others don't. So, but I think even in Krishna book, isn't cock fight, training cocks how to fight? I think is one of the 64 arts.
Really?
Krishna learns.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a game changer.
Yeah, it's an acceptable thing.
Really?
It's very exciting to see too. I mean, we're talking like properly, specially bred roosters, cocks, and they are fired up. They're celibate, you know, so they're like, and they're crazy, you know, they're mad, and then they're like really big and scary, and then they just go at each other. I mean, it's nuts, man, and it's very popular.
So in Italian we have the different word for rooster and the male of the hen which is being castrated. The rooster which is being castrated.
The rooster has been castrated. See, he doesn't have sex.
Now you know, that's what we call it. Pollo gallo. Difference. In the factories, I don't think you have roosters. Because
I didn't think you
when you say chicken, it's not being castrated. In the factories, you know,
You
because
can castrate a rooster?
yeah, that's
Why would they do that?
because it gets fatter
And
and
you
you
just
eat
eat it. Oh, so you can eat
Yeah,
it?
you don't really grow. I don't think they grow rooster in the factories.
No, it's just chicken.
When you eat chicken, you eat a castrated rooster. You didn't know?
Things are taking a twist for the
Come on.
worst.
We need to fix this. This is getting too much.
Quite amazing, isn't it? It's funny because one of the main in factory farming, they do factory eggs. So usually when you see a factory farm, it's all chickens, and they just impregnate them.
Olive female.
Yeah. And then they get all the eggs and then they kill them. And they just keep that side. The males is usually like a stud, like you have a stud horse who just impregnates all the women. It's usually like that.
It's terrible. Isn't
My
it?
So maybe in Italy it's a different system. Castrated roosters. So they still crow when the sun rises. I suppose it doesn't bother. What's the point?
Depressed.
Well,
You
yeah, I
rooster.
think in France they do this for like Christmas, you know, they do special.
Oh, like 3 birds in what? Oh man, that's terrible. I
They
remember
do
watching
like
that back
male,
for Christmas. I realised
male
it's very demoniac.
chicken.
Yeah,
You know, like special. It's more fat. There's more
Huge.
flesh.
They put like 3. They put birds inside each other like a duck.
Oh yeah.
Inside of
What?
a, inside of a chicken.
Yeah.
Inside of I don't know.
Pigeons.
Yeah. And they sell it like 3 bird roast and like so demoniac. Even as a media, like, it's awful existence. Like why would what kind of nonsense is this?
What civilization is this?
It's
man?
terrible.
We need to
Yeah,
get out.
yeah, it's the
We need
worst.
to go. We need to leave this civilization.
This planet.
It's too
I think that was a turning point in my life actually when I saw that. Something wrong is going on.
Oh, it's in this. Wow.
Yeah.
Leave the country, man. We need to leave this.
Birds putting inside each other.
How did we get onto all
Oh,
this?
it's just that's
That's because it's the logic of half a hen.
Oh my god.
Okay, we'll talk about the half hen logic next time, see if I have time now. So thank you very much for the apologize for the foul language. You get that?
That's really bad.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay. So thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Yeah.
Srila Bhagavad-Gita ki.
Yeah.
Janata
Haribo. What were you doing just then?